I met you years ago, and in doing my research, I was on the junket for Fat Albert in Philly,
Oh my God, that
and
is crazy.
weren't you in a
Small
room
world.
full of kids?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny when I did that movie, I was 24 and I was playing 17, in high school, and I just remember the set just feeling like, oh my God, I get to be a kid again. Like we would play like all these hand games, and I was the oldest one there, but it was pretty fun. It was my first studio film.
Wow. Well, like I said, our paths have crossed, and I'm so grateful to you for this little bit of time that we can share. I wanted to start off by saying, growing up where you did,
Mhm.
getting into the film and modeling business, was it really tough?
You know, for me, it's interesting because my life, the way that my journey kind of ended up, I became an actress. I didn't really, growing up in Dominican Republic, I come from a very small, town. I was born in the capital, but I was raised by my grandmother. My parents immigrated when I was almost 10 years old to the United States. So I grew up in a small little town called Cotuí, and we didn't have at that time, like, TV or running water. Like, so my imagination was always very active, but I did not realize that this was a career that I could actually have in my life from a very young age. Nobody in my family did this for a living. So I started when I was 15. I'm going to fast forward to I get to the United States when I was almost 10. To Manhattan. My parents moved to West New York, New Jersey, and I used to work at a store at the age of 15. And I was always very active and liked to dance. So I would always dance in front of the store. I used to check people's bags so they wouldn't steal. And and one day I happened to think I was dancing to, and I do remember this. Dreams Are Made of These, I think. They would play that in the store constantly. So I was dancing to it in front of the store. And this guy, his name was Raymond Guadalupe, came in and asked me if I wanted to model. He had a small agency in New Jersey. I was 15 years old and didn't really know, I was sort of just like living and figuring life out and coming into my own. And I was like, of course I want to model. So that was my introduction to the business. And from, one thing led to another. I was a big hustler, so I went from one agency to the next, and found myself over at Willie Mina after a while. And they would send me out on like commercial auditions, and they had a department that dealt with actors. So I went into a casting call for Subway Stories. And that was a small short stories that they were doing, that Spike Lee was directing and was producing along with Rosie Perez for HBO. And I had a very minimal role, but it was, they gave me my SAG card. They gave me a line or two, and I got my SAG card on that job right before I graduated high school at the age of 16. And so it was all sort of like happening at the same time, but someone on that job, and I can't remember whether it was Spike or someone that was there. I do remember talking to him on the job and feeling like, okay, this is really exciting. Spike is talking to me. And all the little things that you remember later on, you're like, oh, that was such a magical point and a pivotal point in my life and in my career. But that was the first time that someone said, you should take an acting class. And they recommended the Actors Workshop Studio in New York City. And sure enough, that Saturday I went there, and I, it was an improv class. I did my improv, and the acting coach said, you should do this for a living. And while I was going to Montclair State University to study and on my own for the first time, I would go on Saturdays to New York City and take these acting classes. And the rest is history. I say the rest is history because there's a lot of work and a lot of things that kind of happen on and off and in between all that. But that was the time that I realized that I was going to do this for a living and really pursued it.
Yeah, and you've done so well. I mean, you're a very busy, actress, and not everybody in this business, is busy, and so that's just such a blessing.
It is a blessing. I'm very grateful for, the continuous opportunity. Obviously, I am a big believer in, you manifest your own reality, and staying positive is such a huge part of like having success and allowing abundance to come into your world. But I also know that, there are many things that people look at in life as coincidences, right? Like, or that could have, no, that's an avenue that I could take, but they don't follow it. And I think what I've always done in my career is just I follow everything and I don't judge anything that I do. I mean, at one point I was doing music videos, and I thought I have made it. And then I did commercials and I thought I made it. And so, I think I've always found joy, and definitely the minute I started doing this, I felt like I was meant to do it. So I work really hard at what I do. But I also know that I've been granted a lot of really amazing opportunities, and I'm really grateful to the acting community, and for continuously wanting to audition me and give me work, and really, really, really exciting.
What was modeling a tough business? Was it? I mean, I hear about pitfalls and people going into the darker side, but did you experience any of that, or was it good for you?
Tough business. I think this is a tough business. It's all about. I can't say that I haven't made bad choices in everything that I've done, but when I have been faced with adversity, and modeling for me was tough because I felt like I had things to say, and at the beginning of my modeling career, I started realizing that, okay, so I'm just standing here, and I felt like a hanger for a lot of it, and I thought it taught me a lot, though. So I can't say I thought it was tough, but I think because it was really tough, and I was in New York City at the age of 15, running around on my own. My family was really supportive of me, trying to, be model or being an actress. My dad wanted me to be a lawyer, and they just didn't understand what I was doing. And I think because of it, I found myself in so many situations that were complicated. I remember hanging out to all hours of the night, while going after go-sees, and finding myself with really, at the age of 15, you're so young, and you're, around this world of like a nightlife, and drugs are everywhere, and you just you could go on different paths. And I am very lucky that no matter what path I took, I was able to find my way back.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You still talking to your friend?
It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
Understand what's happening out there? It's a war. We are fighting extinction, and we are losing. Until now.
He's using our kids to make that.
You told me yesterday when we were talking about Sweet Tooth that the character that you play, Amy, gives you, a lot, because she's active, she's a warrior, she's this, and I don't think roles like that come around that often.
No, they really don't, and it's a testament to the creators and again the writing team on Sweet Tooth to be able to see, to see a role as so multidimensional. When I first read that first scene for Sweet Tooth, I could connect right away with the nurturing side of her. The first scene that I ever read was a scene that I believe was on episode 4 of season 1, and it's when I'm having a conversation with Wendy about, being comfortable and accepting herself for who she is. And sometimes it takes time. And for me, that didn't happen until I found her. I think, starting in a place of reading something like that, I never thought that she was going to end up becoming a warrior. So I think it's a combination of connecting with the writers and connecting with the creators, and they have their own mind of where they want to take something, and obviously the more they get to know you as an actor and as a person, I think they adapt to different things that you might be good at, and continuously allow you to really explore different parts of a role. And she was a therapist turned, finally finds herself by the end of season 1. She's ready to go to war.
Yeah, it's an amazing character, but so is Nikki in Alert. I mean,
Yeah.
here are two great females to play, and Nikki is like an onion. I mean, the more you peel, the more there is.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We got picked up for a season 2, and I'm excited to see where Nikki goes. But yeah, another great character. I think it's a testament to also the temperament of the world and how we see women today, and in really allowing me to really tap into all these different things and see what I can bring to the table. I do think that no matter how much of a warrior these women are, I think a big asset that I bring to the table is the ability to really connect to the human side of who they are, so that you're not just getting someone that jumps off a building in Nikki, but you get this woman that really is struggling to find her own happiness and trying to find her child became the catalyst of their children became the catalyst of who she ended up becoming. And that's a huge part of who she is. That's a huge part of who Amy Eden is. I think I see the parallels in both those characters, because they really are driven by their love for children and the children that they have.
Was there a lot of training going in to that? I mean, I'm sure you had to learn how to use guns, and wearing the uniform is also
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of training. I was very lucky. I had a specialist, Brent was his name, that was in the force, and that was able to teach us how to handle the guns. I mean, the guns within itself was a different skill. But I think, adding that with all of the stunt coordination that goes into everything, and it's just a treat. As an actor, it's always exciting when you get to learn a new skill. So when I did X-Men, I remember I took kickboxing classes for almost a year, during and then after, because you gravitate towards continuing to build your own skill, and you get these films, and you get these roles, and you get these networks that really want you to be good at it. And I love being active and being good at what I do. I don't just want to have my stunt person come in and then I back up and I just kind of do the acting. I really want to be a part of it.
Doesn't all that become a dance of some kind? I mean, it's a mental choreography that you have to move in such a way that the character becomes real to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's about, wanting something to be authentic and being comfortable in that skin. I think the more you practice and the more training you get in something, the easier it becomes to just really be that character. It's like tapping into a part of who I am. I've always been active, and so being able to bring that and then make that 100% of who I am in that moment and live it. That's what I think audiences are able to see you as this particular role. I think those are the moments that really bring the character to life.
Talk to me a little bit about working with James Gandolfini. That must have been amazing.
Yeah, he was such a special, human. I wish I would have gotten to know him even better, but all the moments that we got to share on set were really inspiring. And I was very lucky that I got that job at such an early start of my career, because he made it easier as I continued to work in this industry to understand, okay, that's what I want to mirror. That's the kind of person on set that I want to be. And yeah, he was a lot shyer than as a person than he was in these characters, but he was such a giving human being and so normal. So I really, I think that's one of the things that I took away from him the most, that, you know, acting is just what we do, is know who we are, and to be able to tap into that darkness on set, but shut it off once it was done and just be, you know, giving as a human being afterwards was a really beautiful way to be.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
You know, when I met you at the HCA Awards just recently with Vanessa Angel, our mutual friend.
Love her.
She is heaven on legs. She is just a beautiful person. I told her that, you know, exactly what you're saying about James Gandolfini. I told her about you. I said, she is so real. She's kind. I can tell
Thank you.
That's who you are, and the acting is your job.
Yeah. It really makes it for, and you know, in this career is tough as well. You know, you have so many ups and downs, and you know, people see you and see the trajectory of your work, and they say, oh, you work all the time. But there's been many times that I've had no work, and you know, that I'm somehow, you know, faced with something else that well, you're not funny enough, or you're not, you know, dramatic enough. People forget in the business, you know, you do something dramatic and then they forgot that you were funny, and then you do something funny and they forgot that you know, that you can feel and you're able to kind of convey these emotions. But it's those same moments in my career that have also, you know, allowed me to be so diverse, that I haven't been able to have, you know, just be typecast as just one thing, because the fact that people forget gives me an opportunity to then show myself in a different light. And you know, I haven't, you know, there's not that one thing that I get recognized for, that people are like, oh, you're that girl from this, and people run into me in the street and they come up to me and say, hey, we go to high school together. And there's something really like authentic about that. For me, I get to really still be myself, you know, when I'm not in front of the camera and they say action. And I love the fact that I get to have those real moments, because I do believe that in my experience, I'm only as good as my life experience. And so if I'm always an actress on and off camera, it kind of takes away from the experiences that I get to have in life, you know?
But is there a lot of pressure on you to wear the right clothes and, you know, act this way? And I mean, you have people around you that, you know, if you let them, they'll take over, and you've got to be yourself, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the challenge, right? And I'm not going to say that I haven't had those moments that, you know, insecurity has set in, because you have a lot of people kind of like talking your way. And what I learned, and this is recent for me, is, you know, the sense of detachment. You know, just trying to detach from somebody else's experience. And if they have a thought that doesn't really coincide with your thought, though that's their thought, and to try to stay on my path. And that's the hardest thing to do in this business, is to stay clear in what it is that you are here to do. And because I see myself as a messenger of like love, and that's the message that I'm allowed to speak through interviews like this. And what I really want people to take out of, you know, my experience of who Dania Ramirez really is, it's the fact that I do believe that we live through love, and that we focus on loving ourselves correctly in the right way, and really accepting ourselves for who we are, and detaching from what everybody else wants. That will put us on a good, you know, on a good path as humanity. I think we'll be able to have more love and empathy for others. That we'll we would be able to have a little more compassion for one another, and that's really valuable in humanity right now. I think that's what we need to be at. But yeah, of course, I mean, there's pressure. I've had pressure since I was, I started this business when I was 15 years old, and you have to look a certain way, and what if you don't do this, and you know what I mean. At one point, it's like if you have children, you're not gonna work, and all of these things that I thought mattered, and one day just you realize nothing does. You're gonna get the roles that you're gonna get because they're meant for you.
Will you be hopping behind the camera and directing?
I think eventually that could be a part of it. I know that me and Vanessa met on a film that I was producing and starring in as well. And directing could be something that I tackle, just not something that I'm doing today.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
I really want to thank you for this wonderful interview. It's something when I met you, I really wanted to learn more about you and how you process all of this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
He just kept on going on and on about how dumb I am, but he loves me.
Your husband is emotionally abusive. He's not working on it. He doesn't intend to. Just leave him.
Okay.